Hello and welcome back to the Bodcast. It is episode 112. Carrie is with me and doing some very weird stuff.
You did some weird head movement first, so I was just copying. They can't see that.
No, they can't.
Move on.
So this week we are going to talk about Lego shows, because we've not talked about Lego shows enough.
We have. We've talked about them quite a lot.
Yeah.
But we're doing a few over the summer.
Yep.
And there's a specific thing that's made us want to talk about this.
Yeah, and so this is kind of trust.
Trust. Yeah, just say one word. People understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Trust.
So there's a couple of different angles, but the first one that we thought we would talk about is the kind of expectations from someone displaying.
So if you sign up to a show and you give your commitment, what commitment are you getting back from them? What are you expecting in return?
Yeah.
So we signed up to Blockbuster, which was meant to be a big show at the NEC, happening 2nd of September, I think it is.
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd of September.
Now, that's not that far away. It's nearly August, or it will be August by the time you listen to this.
Yeah.
So that's like a month away. So if that's not in your local town, you're going to have booked hotels, surely.
Yeah.
And you're going to have booked train tickets and things.
If you're coming from overseas, then you booked
flights as well. All at your own cost. They're not.
Yeah.
Those are not funded by people putting on the show, and they've cancelled the show.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sucky.
It is. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something else there.
No, I'm just stating facts. It's kind of sucky.
And so the reasoning behind it is that I think, although we refer to it as a Lego show, they're actually doing two shows at the same time, aren't they? They're doing the Lego show and a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And the problem is, because of the actors' strike in the US, they can't get the guest appearances for the Comic-Con, so they don't think they'll get enough people to make the money.
Yeah.
And so if that can't make the money, then the Lego show can't make the money on its own, so therefore they both have to be cancelled.
Yeah. And it was sound reasoning, fair enough. They're a business, they've got bills to pay. There's clearly no way to make it work. And based on the email we got, it sounded like they tried.
Yeah.
I mean, they could just write that, and how would we know? But, I don't know, maybe give people a heads up that there's a risk before, because literally say, don't book anything yet, because it might not go ahead.
Yeah.
I guess that's not great advertising for your show, though. But you're jeopardising people's finances, and that's not fair.
Yes. And the problem is, if they then schedule it for another time, are people going to put in the commitment to go?
Yeah, it's unlikely.
That's the problem. You need to build up that reputation of being reliable. So, we saw at Bricktastic, you had people flying from all over the world. They had huge sets coming in from Germany. They had Americans.
Yeah, I thought it was madness how much Lego people had actually shipped.
Yeah.
And one of the things did not make it across well, and I was really sad for them. But the fact that they even put that effort in.
Yeah.
Because they know that show is a big show, and it's going to happen, and they enjoy the show. They, back to that word, trust that if they make their commitment, they'll get something in return.
Yeah.
Like a weekend of fun, an opportunity to showcase their stuff, and not a cancelled show.
Yeah.
So the problem is, there are some times when it's just completely beyond people's control. So I wonder what happened during the pandemic, how many shows were cancelled and people were out of pocket from that.
But in a lot of those cases, flights would have been refunded, hotels would have been refunded, or it would have been covered by your travel insurance.
Yeah, well, I guess if you're travelling, then you should be getting travel insurance for that.
But I don't know if the Lego show being cancelled, travel insurance would cover that.
It's a very specific thing, isn't it?
It is.
Well, but yeah.
I don't know if you book. I mean, it can happen with music concerts. You could book to go and see a music concert in a different country.
And then
does your insurance cover if that gets cancelled? Or do they just argue, well, there are other things to see in that country, so just make the most of it?
Yeah, and so this show's in Birmingham, so those people are out of luck.
That's harsh. Birmingham's a nice place.
I have nothing against Birmingham. I was just
Lot
trying.
to see. Has a really nice science museum you can go to. There's Cadbury's World.
You're
There's
always rude about my hometown.
Alton
so
Towers,
I like to do it
nice
to you.
and close to it. So, there's a lot to do in Birmingham. So if you have paid for flights to come over for this show, there's still plenty that you can do for a weekend.
Okay. Are you going to give them a little guided tour? Because we're obviously there as well, because we were meant to be going to the show.
Yes. So, we need to work out what we're doing. I mean, I'm wondering whether could they put on a show somewhere else?
Well, they've cancelled it outright. They've not even trying. They said there'll be another one in Birmingham at some point.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Would it have been better if they'd gone, look, we found this other venue to do. It will be smaller. It will be something else,
but
something like that. But still,
there's a reason to be there.
You've put in the effort to come over. We will make sure there is something going on.
At the end of the day, I think this kind of ties into the next part in that the specific company that are doing Blockbuster feel a little bit like they're just out for their own money. They're not really caring about the experience they're giving to their exhibitors or like building up that trust.
Yeah.
I think they're a business and that's at the heart of their decision making.
So this is specifically about the
builder support program. Is that what they call it? That they offer?
I don't know. Is that what they call it? Essentially, a lot of shows reimburse you for expenses in one form or another. The way that they do it is by giving you it's either a £50 Lego voucher or a £50 voucher to use at the show.
Yeah, so amongst the traders that are there.
So essentially, either buying Lego at the show or buying Lego from Lego.
Yeah.
Those are your two choices. So that's a way of reimbursing you for the Lego you've used to create your mocks.
Yeah.
But it's been a little unclear as to how much you get when you're doing collaborative builds.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. It says that all builders get it. I think it's ridiculous to state builder support, have 6 people building, therefore 6 lots of costs, because it's not like they're building tiny things.
Yes.
And then not offer a voucher to every single one of those builders. I get, like, in the case of us, we're building one block between 2, but a collaborative build isn't one mock between 2. Or is it?
I don't know.
So, personally, in this situation, there was 3 tables worth of stuff. 6 people contributed to it. Therefore, they should at least have got 3 vouchers.
Yes.
In the past, they've got 6 vouchers, and suddenly they don't. They got 1. That is an absolute travesty, in my opinion. And completely massive breakdown of trust there. And they've ruined that relationship. Yes, they may go back on to fix it.
Let's hope they do.
The
They'll just realise that
to fix it.
What they did was silly. They should give at least 3 vouchers, if not 6, And
you want to support your builders.
Yes.
The shows are rubbish without them.
Yes.
So don't mess with them.
I think there's some worry that some people are taking advantage of the offer. And they're just putting minimal effort into the mocks, or the mocks have, been on tour. They're going back to the same place multiple times.
In their terms and conditions for the builder support, it says it has to be a new mock for that venue.
Right.
You can't have shown it at the venue before, or it has to significantly changed. So they've got that in there. Right. This was a brand new collaboration that had never been seen before. So to apply a rule or try and get out of paying is a poor show.
But as I said, there's still that thought that some people are turning up with mocks.
Well, then penalise them.
Yes.
Don't penalise the people.
But this is what I'm
in
saying.
effort.
Do they need to have a more robust way of doing it? Do they need to specify more? But then, how much effort someone's put into a mock is very subjective.
Yeah.
We are going to the Sea City Museum in Southampton, and as part of our display, we will be including one from Leah. Now, as a 7-year-old, it's not going to be the most amazing mock people have seen. It is a really cute little mock.
It's beautiful.
But, if someone in their 30s came up with that mock and that's all they were showing, you'd sit there and go...
Yeah, probably not going to pay you.
But then again, she's not getting paid for displaying it.
No, she's just coming along for us.
But, so it's very hard to work out what should and shouldn't qualify. Should they maybe change it from it's almost at the moment all you get is a participation award. Should they make it more of a competition?
No.
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 You don't like the whole competition side of it?
No, because that's not the point. You're coming along to showcase what you can do with Lego, not, oh, I'm better than you.
Okay.
Like, that completely changes the atmosphere of a show. We're all there because we all love Lego and we want to see what everyone else has created, not, oh, yours is rubbish. Like, that's such a horrible element to bring in, I feel. Do you not think?
You didn't seem to mind when we won a prize at
We won a prize, but
Reading.
we didn't go there to win a prize. Like,
No.
I don't know.
And I don't think... I'm not saying that people would just go to win the prize. I'm just saying that you wouldn't get people...
Sorry, it sounded like you were saying you only get paid if you win. I don't know.
That is essentially what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's rubbish.
But we didn't get paid at all to go to Reading.
Right. But if you're offering some sort of... We got perks for going to Reading, the same as we do for every show. That's what this builder support program is. They're essentially giving you some sort of kickback for helping them out.
Yes.
And that is why I'm so cross that they didn't pay everyone there, because 6 people put in their effort to make a mock and turned up to support that show, brought in a whole load of people to see that mock and got nothing for it. That is just a kick in the face.
Yes.
Or teeth. Or punch in the face. Whatever that saying is, it's unacceptable.
Slap in the face.
Slap in the face, punch in the balls.
With a wet kipper.
It's just not nice what it is.
Yes. But no, I'm saying have a smaller, like a £10 voucher for displaying, but then have prizes for winning, best in show and all the other different categories that you'd have. And that way, if all you want to do is put in a small mock so that you get free entry and get to spend the day there, then you've still got that £10. You've had that free entry, so you've still got compensation for going. And it means that if you put in a, spectacular collaborative build across 3 tables and you win a prize, then you get a decent amount of money to go and put in the effort again next time.
I don't like it.
You're not?
No. I don't know, because it's not a competition. It's not, like, if you don't have the best mock skills but you really enjoy doing stuff, then you're being penalised.
No, because you still get that £10 for turning up. You still get the free entry. You still get the day spent talking to other people about mocks.
Would there be a rule that if you have just made something that's on Rebrickable, you would get 0 monies? I mean, you'd still get in, but you can't win any of the prizes.
Yes, I think you'd still get the £10 participation because you are still taking something for people to see.
Your participation trophy.
Yeah. But yes, if it's not your own creation, then I don't think you should be winning awards for it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. But I still don't like the competition element.
You don't like the competition?
No, I don't. Okay. I mean, to be fair, when we go to shows, you take your big coral reef, which I've had a hand in, so I take some ownership on, and I take my little minion build, and every time someone looks at mine, I'm like, ha 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 ha, in your face. So I'm competitive about it, but I don't think it should be formally competitive, personally. I don't know. I think, specifically with this set of shows, so these are the Brickfest shows, they should be doing all they can to get mock builders involved in their shows and making sure that those mock builders feel valued and, like, don't call it a builder support program if you don't then support them.
Yeah.
It's a poor name. So, I don't know.
Okay. So, pulling it back
to trust.
How do they regain that trust?
I don't think they can. Unless they, like, actually...
But in both circumstances, so in the cancelling of blockbusters, how do they regain trust there?
I've no idea. They've cancelled a show a month before it happened without mentioning that it was at risk at all. Like, it's not ideal.
No.
I don't know how you would get the trust back.
Is this because the people organising the show are too big a fans of Lego and they've gone, we really like this company that generally treats the word transparency as a dirty word, and so that's how they should act?
I personally feel anyone starting a business, the more transparent you are, the more trust you're going to have from your consumers, users, whatever the word is. If people understand why you're making decisions and they see it coming, then they're more willing to accept it, support you, be all right with it. They'll make plans, contingency plans. They'll not book their hotel to the last minute, or like they'll be sensible about it if you let people know.
Yeah.
They do need to be more transparent and let people know in advance. What I would love to see is for each show they're doing, who, like, a percentage of who they've got signed up. Like, we come back to the age old, there's too many sellers and not enough mock people. And we've signed up to one, and I'm happy to go because I kind of want to go to the show. It's not too far away. I quite like showing off our mock. It makes me, like, there's value there. But I also don't want to be in a hall with the only mock and have that sort of feeling. So I don't trust that I will get the best experience because I don't know what the balance is going to be. So if you could see that, that would make me feel better as well. That's nice.
Interesting. So, as I said, we're going to Sea City Museum in Southampton, and then the Didcot. I can't remember which museum it is in Didcot.
Didcot Railway Museum.
Didcot Railway Museum in Didcot. And they specifically say that they try to keep vendors to only 20%.
Yeah.
So that's quite nice. You've got that. There's a clear thing. And they say, so if you want to sell, you have to get in contact with them because they won't just say yes to all vendors because they need to keep that levels. So in some cases, you might say, I want to sell. And they go, well, you're on the waiting list.
Yeah.
But we've got to get more people in before we can actually have any more vendors.
But that gives you an element of trust that the show is going to be balanced. You're not going to feel out of place as a mock person.
Yeah.
A mock person. I'm a pretend person. As a mock bringer of mock. What's wrong with me? Yeah, but that does help. And you can also see, well, I guess you can't with percentages, but if you had, like, there's 10 displayers and 1 trader, you know, okay, that's an okay show, that's probably going to go ahead. Like, if you'd seen Blockbuster, but again, it wasn't cancelled because of lack of numbers. We have no idea how many there were. But that might have given you an idea, because we've all been sort of saying, oh, the NEC, that's a big venue.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to fill it? Will it go ahead? So I think we were already a little lacking in trust.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't realise that it was going to be joint with the Comic Con.
No, me neither. I don't think it said it anywhere that was the case.
Yeah.
So
at that point, it kind of makes sense. Oh, the NEC is a big place, but they're fitting 2 conventions in there at the same time.
Yeah.
So it kind of then you're going, oh, so they don't have to fill the whole thing, you know. So yeah, a little bit more transparency around that would be nice. But I'm wondering so we've said that, you know, the ones we signed up for are at museums.
Yeah.
And in some ways, they can get away with not filling the place.
Yeah, because they're just trying to bring additional people in to see the Lego, but the museum still has the same content. They're not charging any more for getting into the museum to see the Lego. It's just a bumper, like, oh, we like Lego, let's go to the museum and see the museum.
Yes.
So it's an easier thing to fulfill.
Yeah, and it's not like they're renting a place that they need to fill. There's not going to be empty space. So, like, if you consider, Steam.
Yeah.
At
You've got the big hall.
Steam Museum. Yeah, they need to fill the hall, and then they flow out into the rest of the museum.
Yeah.
If they didn't get enough people showing up, then they just remove those sections from in the museum and just have the hall kind of thing. So they've got more flexibility.
But again, they're a long-standing show, and they let people, like, they have the trust.
Yeah.
People have been before. It's not been cancelled other than for COVID, I guess. And everyone knew that was COVID.
Yeah.
That kind of helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I guess these are actor strikes, but again, not making it clear that the Blockbuster show was that double whammy.
There's no obvious connection between Lego show and actor strike.
And I can't look at the website that they had because they've taken it all down. So it's impossible to know whether they ever said it was joint. Yeah, it's all gone. So I did not know. I'd seen that they had other Comic Cons and they were displaying with them. But I didn't see this specific one. This one, the fact that they'd renamed it to Blockbuster. So other ones, they've just been brick festivals at Comic Con. This wasn't that. This was rebranded to, oh, look at this big show.
I'm guessing that's because if you wanted to go to a Comic Con, you paid to go to that, and if you wanted to go to a Lego show, you paid to go to that. Whereas the other ones, the Lego show has been part of the Comic Con, so it's one entry.
I see.
This is 2 separate shows with 2 separate fees to get in. That just happen to be run by the same people.
Yeah, double whammy. And they're doing neither. It's sad. And I don't know how you get that trust back.
No.
Trust is a really hard thing to rebuild. And I think they've burnt a lot of people with various decisions they make. So, like, we've heard people who have had a really awful time when they bought a mock because there wasn't enough mocks and therefore they couldn't take a break because their mock was the only mock being seen and there was no one to support them.
Yeah, we've heard stories. It's not necessarily there aren't enough mocks. There's not enough people displaying their mocks.
Yeah, to sort of give you a break.
I don't know if this is part of the... If you take a mock, you can have a vendor table for free.
Right.
So you bring a mock, put it on a table, then go off to your vendor table. And
I thought you had to have like a double tape, like it was together, the tables.
I don't know.
You're saying that people were just leaving their mocks and wandering off.
I don't know.
Seems a bit rubbish. Yeah, so they really need to do something for their rep. Because until people trust them, they're not going to get the footfall.
Yeah.
And they're doing very little, it seems, to get that trust back.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to hopefully experience it firsthand. We've applied to one. Who knows if we'll get in.
Which one have we applied for?
Bournemouth.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've not heard back yet. So, who knows? We're going to give them a chance.
Yeah.
We'd like to go and show our mock to some more people because it's a great mock. And any opportunity to show it is fun.
Yeah.
But I would say my trust level is already low.
Yeah. I think it means we're going in with fairly low expectations, so hopefully they can exceed them.
Sure.
Maybe. But if you are coming from quite far away to go to the Birmingham show and you can't cancel flights or trains, whatever, there is the Ely show.
Yeah, Ely Brick Show,
Which
is just across the top of the M25 over to Cambridge. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's about 2 hours from Birmingham, so it's not that close. But you know, if you travelled a long way, you know, spend a day at Cadbury World and then go to the show.
Yeah, and it's a charity show, so it's good to support it.
Yeah.
Or there's also like the Lego store in Birmingham and the Discovery Centre, so there's some Lego things to do. Or just lose your money if you've spent money on those things. We're very sorry to hear that.
If you have any thoughts on the topic, drop them in the comments below on YouTube or in whatever things you can do in these other things that you might be listening to us on. Who knows?
If you are listening elsewhere, drop us a message on Instagram just to let us know where you're listening, and just because it makes us feel good.
Do you not get to see who's listening? Like,
I don't get to see who's listening.
No.
The internet doesn't work like that.
No. But do you get to see if people are listening on the other platforms?
Probably if I looked.
Okay. Well, if there's a platform that you want us to be on that we're not on, let us know and we won't do anything about it.
Like a dancing platform. Like a little podium. It's a shame this is a podcast
I
because
know.
that was some quality dancing I was doing there.
That was, yes. So anyway, we will see you next week for another exciting episode of the podcast.
We won't see you because the internet doesn't work like that.
Yes, it does. We can see you.
We can see you. Stop doing that. That's disgusting. Bye.
Bye.
It sounded like I was saying that to you. I meant them. Although you are also disgusting.